sis, you got too much to lose, sis. Sis, you got too much to lose. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man. We got to
Do it again. Yeah. Say it again. I don't care what the fuck I'm doing. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. I don't give a fuck what you spell. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
It is sad. It is extremely painful to witness the complete collapse of morality amongst my so-called people. What is even more sad is the everlasting stigma this type of black folks are stamping on the black community in general. The heavy, disgusting stereotype they are creating with these sorts of behaviors. This degenerate section of black individuals think that their deplorable behaviors only rotate within the United States or within the Western nations. They think the outside world, like the outside continent, like Africa and Asia, do not see how they conduct and carry themselves every day in real life and on the internet. They think people in Africa don't see their shenanigans and their embarrassing displays. They even believe that it is only racist white people who have a problem with their degeneracy. They think it is only racist white individuals who are fatigued by them. But little did they know that their infamous reputation reaches far and wide, and it is even more disgusting to those of us who look like them, those of us who live in Wakanda land. However, guys, the individual we're going to be looking at today have unfortunately learned the hard way. She learned that white folks are not the only people who are fed up with their shenanigans and don't even want them around. They are not the only people who don't want them around, because even their own brothers and sisters who live in Wakanda land don't even want anything to do with them. Now, this particular individual, who I'm sure is a fatigue generator, relocated to Kenya, Wakanda land, not because she wants to enjoy a more nature-oriented environment, not because she loves the weather and wishes to live in a rural environment or in a more rural environment, not because she feels like Africa could be her new residential destination, but because, specifically because, she wants to escape racism in America. She is fed up with living amongst racist white people, plus America is a racist country, so she fled to Kenya. But what she ordered, guys, was entirely different from what she received, because the Kenyan people, fellow black people like her, gave her an extremely powerful wake-up call. She couldn't even believe it. Guys, but before we get into the main video, please do well to subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or buying me a coffee if you like, as a way of supporting the channel. All right, let's get right into the video.
They loved having white Americans in their village. Now I done replaced them, and they are looking at me like, who, you? You that look like us? You're here to help us, to save us? What happened to the white people? And you bald, you ain't got no hair, and you childless, so you really not a woman. In their culture and at that time, you're not a full woman if you don't have children.
Black fatigue has become a worldwide phenomenon. Even Africans don't want their long-lost brothers and sisters around them in their own environments. Now, I'm going to tell you exactly what is going on here. But first of all, I just want to make it clear that no African ridiculed this woman's short hair. Okay? No African did that. Of course, she is not bald. You can see the hair on her head. She is not bald. She just chose to keep her hair really short, which is, a hairstyle that is very common in African nations. It is extremely common to see African women wearing their hair very short, just like this. So believe me, guys, her short hair did not stand out in Africa at all, let alone in Kenya, because Africans are used to that type of hairstyle. So I'm 99% sure that nobody in Kenya ridiculed her hair choice, at least not in Kenya, not in Africa. Again, it is a huge lie that Africans don't consider you a real woman if you don't have a child. That is around bull crap, okay? Africa, in fact, remains the only continent that have demonstrated perfect sanity in the ability to tell a woman from a man. You can be barren like a desert. You can have a phenotype of a man. You can go bald like stone, and still any real African still knows that you are a woman if you are really a woman. Unlike other continents in the world who can't even define what a woman is. So yeah, nobody thought she was not a woman, at least not in Kenya. Now, what actually happened was that the Kenyans were not really thrilled to have her around. And again, Kenyans are not really waiting for white nationals to come and save them, just like she said. No, rather, they know that white nationals who visit their country has a lot to offer them in terms of investments, business creation, technological innovations, and most of all, commendable etiquette, proper behavior, no deplorable attitude, no fatigue. So yeah, the Kenyans were not really thrilled to see her. And the reason for that is simply because of incidents like the one I showed in the beginning of this video. She fled to Kenya to escape America's racism, but she got a rude awakening instead. Now, what people like this woman don't really understand is that Africans are widely exposed to the internet. You might think otherwise, but believe me, Africans are widely exposed to the internet. They see all the disgraceful activities a growing number of Black Americans engage in. They witness all the fatigue-generating escapades. Many Africans have immense access to world news and social media. And again, news spreads fast in African communities. One person encounters the disgusting and very embarrassing fatigue episodes, and before you know it, the news spreads like wildfire. Every other person knows about it. Now, by the time these Africans come across the numerous and persistent crazy displays from these Western Black folks, then a negative stereotype conjures itself in their minds, okay? The Africans start resenting the Western Blacks and even start dissociating any resemblance or likeness with them. And then finally, when the Western Blacks eventually visit Africa, Africans don't feel very thrilled to have them around because of their fatigue-generating tendencies. When you are so privileged, yet you go out of your way to, needlessly commit the most crimes. You are so hateful towards people of other races. All you complain about every day is racism this and racism that, how you are being cheated out of some phantom share or being oppressed. You engage in the most debasing behaviors on the internet. What you get is ostracization from people, including the people who are supposed to be on your side. In this case, the Africans. It is the same thing as having a sibling with a very bad criminal record. This sibling of yours have amassed a very disgusting reputation to the point that his behavior even reflects poorly on your own reputation. Now, people think that you'll be just as evil or as criminal as this sibling of yours just because you guys are related. Not because you're a bad person, but because you are related to this criminal sibling. Now, one of the solutions to proving your good reputation and reinstating your dignity is to dissociate from that particular sibling. Cut him or her off from your life until they change their criminal behavior. Now, that is exactly what many Africans feel like. The only real issue now is that even law-abiding, responsible, and respectable Western Black people get lumped into the same group. We Africans, we see one Black American and we immediately assume that this is also a fatigue generator 2.0. Of course, Africans are now cautious around their own kin, all because of the despicable conduct they keep witnessing on the internet day in, day out. So it is actually hilarious that this particular woman fled racist America to escape racism in Kenya. I'm even surprised she did not flee to escape racism, right? It would have made more sense if she took it up a notch to slavery instead of racism. I mean, racism is now a common word. It doesn't hold much weight any longer. So slavery would have sounded more powerful. But yeah, guys, it is funny. She fled the oppression in America only to be told, we don't really want you here. by a Kenyan in so-called Wakanda African nation, by a fellow black person. On a normal day, guys, this would have been the height of comedy. Because I mean, check it out. It is the height of comedy. These guys don't realize that America is arguably the greatest country on earth where any black person has the biggest privilege. The country where black people are the most protected, the most listened to, the most catered for, where they have the most rights, the most heard voice, the most privilege. Yes, despite all of this, some black individuals still believe that they are in chains, they are oppressed in America. Well, I would love to tell this woman to try to complain to the Kenyan government about any problem. Try making those petty demands you usually make in the United States, but this time do it to the Kenyan government. Just try whining and crying about some inconsequential or even consequential issues to the Kenyan government. Then let's see how this black-only government, this motherland government, responds. That is, even if they spare you any response to begin with, then maybe you will start understanding how incredibly empowered you are in America. If this woman is wise, guys, her experience in Kenya would be a wake-up call to her and to so many other people who think like her. The little spark of reality that alerts her to how good she and people like her have it in America. Because the truth is, America is 10 times better to black people. Africans are in fact more racist and more tribalistic than she can ever imagine. Guys, but as always, these are just my thoughts and my opinions. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Also, if you're not yet subscribed to this channel, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to the channel, like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or buying me a coffee if you like, as a way of supporting the channel. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For now, peace.